Deny everything and confirm nothing. That's what the CIA's goal is.
Children of some survivors are pursuing a class action lawsuit against the institutions they deem responsible.
The CIA knew that it was breaking, every moral, ethical, and legal law in the books to do these experiments.
They all were behind it. They all knew what they were doing, but they weren't doing it out of care or love. They were doing it out of military and political reasons.
I am on medication now because of what happened to me when I was 16. I have not had any compensation or apology. I want everyone to know in Canada
Don't hold your breath.
What went on in that horrible, horrible hospital.
You will never get an apology from our government. Don't hold your breath.
While historians and survivors have exposed MKUltra's exploits,
I literally think that we should all do a class action lawsuit against them because, I am not an experimental prototype for the frickin' government. I'm not to be used in lab experiments against my will. They're doing this stuff, MKUltra, on the social media apps. This is all just built off of the Stanford prison experiment. But it was an experiment where they said one group of people were the guards and one group were the prisoners. And basically the group that was the guards started abusing their power and being awful to the prisoners who they knew weren't actually prisoners, but so it's it shows the hierarchy. The hierarchy often leads to stuff like this, so they know that if there are positions of authority, that we will listen to them basically up until they kill us. So they've been pushing that to the limit ever since. They've been saying, how far can we go with this? What if we did 9/11? What if we took a building down? What if we figured out how to make little Manchurian candidates out of all these fundamentalists? And we started doing things like OKC, or what about the Wisconsin Sikh temple shooting, or the Boston bombing, or what about the Charleston shooting, or the San Bernardino, or the Orlando Pulse nightclub, which is where we met Paul Wysopal, our friend. What about Charlottesville? What about Pittsburgh? What about Escondido mosque fire? What about the El Paso Walmart shooting, Where are all these guys coming from? I would be very interested in looking at whether or not they are a bunch of Latter-day Saints on lysergic acid. We'll have to look into it. I'm not sure. But, guys, the MKUltra experiment went bananas. Even people have you ever heard of the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski? He was a person who was a victim of MKUltra while he was in college. It messed his whole life up. They dosed him over and over and over, and they made his brain go crazy because they give you so much, because they do not care about us. Any people they don't care about except for themselves. So they whacked Ted Kaczynski's brain out so much that he went in the woods and started mailing bombs to people, Sirhan, he's the guy who tried to assassinate. He was a Palestinian Jordanian man who was, sent to kill RFK. And he was part of it. Guess who else? Our friend Charles Manson. So, I don't know about you guys, but are you seeing how these are all kind of weirdly, a little bit feeling kind of connected almost, a lot of those bombings and stuff? People had suspicions that the FBI is who was giving the people the bombs. Like the Nashville one, where'd he get it? I think the FBI. Timothy McVeigh, again, I'm pretty sure they got it from the FBI. There's always been suspicions about this stuff. And now when you see them all together and you see how much they've put into MKUltra before, where they're just trying to get people to wipe their brain and get them to do nefarious bad stuff, So I don't think that it is above and beyond what our government would do to try and essentially program killers to create chaos for us. I think that's what they're doing. And then on top of it, we got to add the little touch of the fact that the FBI is like completely 100% captured by Mormons, and the CIA is basically just Mossad. So that's two fundamentalist extremist groups that run our Justice Department. But anyway, I don't know. MK Ultra, guys. Yep, our government is evil.